Hello, welcome back to the channel for another Watford transfer update. Starting today straight away with Daniel Bachmann making a loan move over to sunny Spain to join Deportivo La Coruña. Now, of course, if that rings a bell, as it should do, that's because we played them just a couple of weeks ago in our final pre-season friendly in front of fans at Vicarage Road. I've spoke about Dan many times here on the channel. He was currently the longest serving Watford player at the club. He's been here so far for 8 years. He was part of the squad that regained promotion back to the Premier League under Xisco Munoz. That season was a record-breaking season. Watford had the best defence at that time of any team in Championship history. I believe that's since been broken by Burnley. But look, I think for me, Dan has had plenty of positive moments at the club. But during the past couple of seasons, it's been evident for me sitting in the stands, especially from people around me, that the discontent towards him and his performances has been growing ever more negative. And at times, which is a shame to say, it turned quite abusive actually towards Dan Bachmann. So I do think it is time we part ways. I don't know if there's an option to buy from La Coruña's side in this deal. That hasn't yet been reported by any outlets, and I don't know about that myself. But I do believe a change of country and a change of environment for Dan will do him the world of good. He still speaks about his ambition to kind of regain his place in that Austrian national team. And if he's going to play consistently in the second division of Spanish football at a decent team in Deportivo, he may go and actually achieve that ambition. So for me, it's a shame once again it has ended this way, because as a person, I really like Dan. I think he's a top professional. But there's no doubt in my mind in the last couple of years, especially, his performances have been on the downturn. And I feel his biggest weakness was probably his attitude in certain matches, and obviously before matches as well, as has been well publicized via various outlets. So yeah, I wish Dan all the best, a top guy, a top professional, and hopefully he refines his form over in Spain. A midfielder Watford have been linked with in the past few days is Oye Zaraga. He's a Spanish midfielder currently at Udinese. So once again, Watford potentially making use of that close relationship between both clubs. He's been described more as a number 6, very much a player who could dictate possession, but is also quite good in advanced areas of the pitch as well. And I think that's what Watford are lacking at the moment, especially watching us in the cup last night. Kayembe and Tom Delly, Tom Ince you could include in that mould as well. They just don't quite cut it for me, especially when you want to progress the ball forward. People like Tom Delly and Kayembe in particular, they just don't scan enough for me. They're not aware of the players that are around them, and Tom Delly I find quite negative in his general play. Kayembe maybe takes too many touches, and to hopefully bring in a player with a lot of experience, has been at Atletico Bilbao before joining Udinese. Zaraga seems quite comfortable in possession. He seems like he can dictate play from both advanced positions and a deeper role as well. So one to keep an eye on. It doesn't seem particularly advanced as yet. A few outlets reporting that Watford have interest, including the Watford Observer. But I think this will probably depend very much on outgoing players, because even though you may think the midfield, especially our backup options, aren't full of quality, there are a lot of players in them positions. We've got Hector, Duomo, Loser, Jack Greaves, Tom Ince, Edu Kayembe, Tom Dedi Bashiru, Musa Sissoko. There's a lot of players in that midfield area. So I think for me, if Watford can get this done, it would be great. But equally, because of how many players we're stats with already, I think it will be very much dependent on outgoing. So Oye Zaraga, a Spanish player, 26 years old, very much a dictator in that midfield, can hold possession, and I feel that is what Paolo is probably after. So an interesting link to keep an eye on. Finally, looking at the centre-back department once again, it's been very well publicised in the last few days that Watford are still looking to bring in another centre-back this transfer window. And unfortunately, we've had quite a few injury issues so far. Matty Pollock is out for the next 3 to 4 weeks. James Bankwell went off against Charlton with a hamstring injury. We don't really yet know how severe that one is going to be. Kevin Caben, of course, whilst he's fit at the moment, he's had injury issues in the past. And Max Elaine, whilst he has a lot of potential, is still quite a young player who we brought in from Manchester City. So Watford, according to various sources and outlets, still very much after another centre-back. I think if a new centre-back arrives, they'll probably, at least in my opinion, using my common sense, they'll probably be of an older age. I know people have linked us with Liam Cooper in before. Ben Mee at Brentford as well. I think he's become a free transfer this summer as well. I could have got that completely wrong, but those are two players people have linked us to this window. So I think if we do bring in another central defender, they may not be an immediate starter, but they'll probably be a player who can bring in a bit more experience into what is quite a youthful back line at the moment. So some interesting developments in the transfer window to come. Still a few weeks to go as well. Let me know if you guys would bring in any other players or any other positions in the comments section down below. And keep an eye on the channel for our QPR match preview. That'll be coming out very, very soon. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.